On Days of Our Lives, secrets are never safe, and memory cards? Even less so. The latest storyline is heating up fast, with Kristen DiMera closing in on a discovery that could blow the DiMera family wide open. If you thought the truth about EJ's shooting was confusing before, you're not ready for what's coming. Today, we're breaking down the newest developments, how they might tie together, and why that little piece of plastic might destroy more than one life in Salem. Let's dive in. In the May 2nd episode of Days of Our Lives, a crucial detail slipped under the radar for some viewers, but it could end up blowing the entire DiMera storyline wide open. EJ DiMera has been walking through a fog, his mind scattered with fragmented memories and disturbing dreams about the night he was shot. He's not sure what's real anymore. The trauma, the fear, and the guilt have blurred the lines between memory and imagination. But now, we have something tangible, a surveillance camera, hidden in the living room of the DiMera mansion. A device that saw everything when no one else did. And what's on the final frame of its memory card? Johnny DiMera, framed in the doorway, a gun pointed directly at EJ. Freeze that image, and you've got the makings of a courtroom exhibit. Not just a heated family moment, but a potentially criminal one. It's the kind of evidence that could change lives, or destroy them. But here's the thing, footage tells a story, but not always the whole one. And what this footage shows might not be what it means. At first glance, the footage is incriminating. A son aiming a gun at his father. It looks bad, no question. But in Salem, appearances lie. Let's rewind. EJ's mental state has been unraveling since the shooting. The visions, the nightmares, the hazy flashbacks. In almost all of them, Johnny appears with a weapon. But dreams are not truth. And memories can be manipulated, by trauma, by guilt, by suggestion. So what if Johnny wasn't there to shoot? What if he showed up angry, furious even, but only to confront his father face to face? Maybe he pulled the gun in a moment of impulse, and then walked away. That leaves a chilling gap in the timeline. If Johnny didn't pull the trigger, then someone else must have entered after he left. Someone who did fire the shot. Someone who remains invisible on the tape, or maybe even erased from memory. So while the footage looks like a smoking gun, pun intended, it may only be a snapshot. Not of guilt, but of misdirection. Which leads us to the next twist. Behind the scenes, Kristen DiMera is already circling. Calculated, cold, and always 2 steps ahead, Kristen is far from idle. On the surface, she's been pressuring Rita Leslie for information about Rachel Blake's mysterious disappearance. But beneath that, there's another game in play. Kristen suspects there's something valuable hidden, something that could shift the power dynamics in Salem. And now, she's closing in. That something is the memory card. EJ, in a rare moment of paranoia mixed with foresight, handed the card to Rita for safekeeping. He told her to hide it somewhere no one could find. Not the police. Not his enemies. Not even his family. But this is Salem. Secrets don't stay hidden for long. And Kristen has a nose for them. She's no longer just fishing for information. She's on a hunt. Because Kristen knows that if she finds that card, she gains something priceless, leverage. Not just over EJ, but potentially over the entire DiMera family. She could use it to blackmail, to manipulate, to protect Rachel, or to destroy Johnny. To Kristen, it's not a memory card. It's a loaded gun with no fingerprints, and she's itching to pull the trigger. So, let's zoom in on Kristen's playbook. If she manages to find that memory card, and let's be real, she probably will, she holds a ticking bomb in her hand. And Kristen DiMera doesn't just sit on weapons. She uses them. Her first move? Likely straight to EJ. Picture it. She walks in cool, calm, and smiling like she already owns the room. She holds the card up, proof of Johnny aiming a gun, and makes her demand clear. Tell me where Rachel is. Or I take this to the police. It's emotional blackmail at its most brutal. Not with tears or pleading, but with cold calculation. Kristen knows exactly where EJ is weakest. His guilt over Johnny, his instinct to protect, and his desperation to keep this family from completely imploding. EJ is in no position to fight back. He's already haunted by the image of Johnny pointing that gun. He doesn't even fully trust his own memories. The guilt is eating at him, and Kristen knows how to twist that blade. But here's where things get complicated. Kristen may bluff hard, but deep down, she might not want Johnny behind bars. Think about it. A DiMera son going to prison for attempted patricide? It's a scandal that would make headlines worldwide. The DiMera name dragged through the mud. Journalists digging into family secrets. Investigations reopened. Skeletons unburied. And in the middle of all that chaos? Rachel. And that might be Kristen's real fear. That someone will start looking too closely, and see something they weren't supposed to. Which leads us to a darker, far more twisted possibility. It sounds wild at first. Absurd, even. But this is days of our lives, and when fans start putting the puzzle pieces together, no theory is off the table. What if Rachel Black, Kristen's own daughter, was somehow involved in EJ's shooting? The clues are subtle, but chilling. Ever since her recent therapy session, Rachel hasn't been the same. She's withdrawn, silent, almost frozen, not just sad or confused, guarded. Like she's carrying a secret too big for a child to handle. She avoids questions, won't look anyone in the eye. Even her body language screams one thing: guilt. So now, the question shifts. Is Kristen really trying to protect herself from exposure, or is she trying to shield her daughter? Imagine the horror if Kristen were to learn that Rachel was there that night. Maybe she didn't mean to do anything. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe she picked up a gun she found. Maybe she saw something no one else did, and that memory is locked inside her, protected by silence. Now, Kristen's desperation makes sense. She doesn't just want the card. She needs it, because if the truth comes out and Rachel is implicated, even slightly, her world crashes. And what's more chilling, if protecting Rachel means throwing Johnny under the bus, Kristen might not hesitate. Yes, she might actually give the footage to the police. Let them believe Johnny did it. Let him take the fall. If it means saving her daughter, Kristen will burn bridges, betray family, and rewrite the narrative. It wouldn't be the first time. Now imagine this. Kristen finds the memory card. Alone. She watches it, frame by frame. There it is, the image that could change everything. Johnny DiMera, frozen in the doorway, gun raised, a look on his face that's somewhere between rage and fear. And in that moment, Kristen holds the fate of the DiMera family in her hands. She could keep it quiet. Use it for leverage. Play it close, as she often does. But what if she doesn't? What if, instead of playing the long game, Kristen detonates the bomb? She hands the footage to the Salem Police Department. Sends it anonymously to the press. Leaks it to every media outlet that's ever whispered the word, DiMera. Suddenly, Johnny DiMera becomes headline material. Heir to the DiMera empire suspected in father's shooting. It's chaos. Reporters crowd outside the mansion. Cops show up with questions and handcuffs. Social media explodes. The DiMera name, once feared and respected, becomes a punchline and a scandal. And inside the family? The fallout is worse. EJ is devastated. He knows Johnny isn't a killer, or at least, he wants to believe that. But how does he defend his son when the world has seen the footage? When he has seen it, family members take sides. Accusations fly. Old wounds reopen. And just like that, a dynasty begins to crack. But here's the thing about Kristen DiMera, she never acts without intent. So why leak the footage? 3 chilling possibilities. She's lost control. Maybe she's panicked. Maybe something spooked her, Rachel, Rita, EJ, someone closing in, and in a moment of desperation, she chose scorched earth. She's creating a smokescreen. Maybe Rachel is involved. Maybe Kristen knows it, and leaking the footage shifts the spotlight. Johnny becomes the scapegoat, and Rachel fades into the background, untouched. She's making her boldest move yet. Maybe it's calculated. A power play. She burns Johnny to shake EJ, forcing his hand, or to send a message, "Don't cross me." The card isn't just evidence. It's her way back into dominance. Whatever her motive, one thing is clear. Once the footage is out, there's no going back. This storyline is more than just a whodunit. It's a slow unraveling of loyalty, guilt, and power. EJ, already fractured by confusion and regret, now finds himself trapped. By hiding the footage in the first place, he crossed a line, and now, he's paying the price. His instincts told him to protect Johnny, but in doing so, he may have made everything worse. Johnny stands at the center of the storm. Maybe he's guilty of pointing a gun. Maybe that's all he did. But in Salem, perception is reality. And that single image? It might be enough to destroy him, even if he never pulled the trigger. And Kristen plays a long, ruthless game. She doesn't move based on morals. She moves based on leverage, control, outcomes. And right now, that memory card is her ultimate bargaining chip. Whether she keeps it hidden, trades it, or drops it like a bomb, one truth remains: she holds the power. But there's one more layer, and it could change everything. If Rachel is connected to that night, if she did something, saw something, or knows something, then Kristen's motives aren't just manipulative. They're maternal. She's not just playing a power game. She's protecting her daughter at all costs. And if that means sacrificing Johnny, so be it. It's not personal. It's blood. And that's what makes Kristen so dangerous. Because when power, fear, and family loyalty collide, no one walks away clean. So what now? Will Kristen uncover the memory card, and if she does, who will she protect? Will EJ come clean before the footage leaks, or will he be forced into a deal he'll regret? Will Johnny be thrown under the bus to protect a darker secret? And will Rachel's silence become the key to unlocking what really happened the night EJ was shot? In Days of Our Lives, every secret has a price. And right now, someone's about to pay. Stay tuned. Because the memory card is no longer hidden, and the truth is coming, whether Salem is ready or not. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more twists, breakdowns, and bold predictions from Days of Our Lives. This isn't just drama. This is DiMera drama. And the next chapter? It's going to be explosive.